Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be looking at how you think they feel versus how they actually feel about you and the connection. So there are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the rose quartz heart, along with these cards. Group 2 is the red glass heart, along with these cards. And group 3 is the Jade heart, along with these cards. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps for each group in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead. Hi, Group 1. You chose the rose quartz heart. And we'll take a look at these cards at the end. This will be some guidance from Spirit about this situation, this connection. So I'm going to start with taking a look at how you think they feel about you and the connection. For Group 1. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Justice, which is Libra. The Hanged Man, which is Pisces. Death, which is Scorpio. Four of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Page of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And we also have Abundance. Medicine. And unconditional love. So it looks like you're feeling that they're very pleased with the situation between you currently. If you are in a separation or no contact with this person or have taken some time apart, you're feeling that this person is feeling that this time is a gift to them so that they can focus perhaps on building some wealth, building something with their career, with their finances, something in the material world, some focus that is being put on their 3D reality, that this is what is giving them the most pleasure, the most satisfaction at this point in time. Some healing in terms of maybe a lack mentality or some kind of fear of loss in the material world might also be something that they are very content with focusing on healing that through maybe surpassing some expectations that others had placed upon them in terms of their potential, in terms of what they were able to achieve. Some kind of expectation maybe to transcend some patterns within their family line. Maybe this is the first person in their family to go to college or graduate from college, or this could be very important to this person to be the first homeowner in their family. Some other things that are really just taking the kind of the forefront of this person's attention right now, that they're in a state of being very content with this connection being on pause, with the Four of Swords and with the Hanged Man. Any ending which has happened with the Death card to communication or to kind of the harmony and closeness between the both of you, that this is something, as you're feeling it, that they are not really sensing the loss of that it has opened up some space for them again to kind of focus on some other things. They could even have some kind of a mother wound that they are needing to work on at this point in time, that may have kind of come in between you in the past, some kind of fears of abandonment, maybe some fears of even being smothered, kind of a fear of being dependent on this connection or losing themselves to this connection. They may have suggested or even directly stated something of that nature when you two went into a period of separation. And so the feeling that you're having is the distance that is being experienced. It is kind of taking them away from that very kind of triggered part of them, and it's allowing them this space to again kind of focus on building their stability, building their independence, their self-assuredness, so that if you were to come back together in the future, then any kind of fears of loss or abandonment or being smothered would be somewhat negated perhaps by this person having established for themselves kind of their own autonomy, their own independence, their own sense of identity and self-assuredness, so that regardless of the long-term outcome of this connection, that in some regard they would still have a lot going for them in terms of something else to redirect their focus to. It would be something where, in terms of even the concept of home ownership or establishing themselves in career, in finances, that maybe kind of the loss of a dual income or some kind of a financially reciprocal partnership that you might have. If that were to come to an end in the future, then this person would still be able to maintain their lifestyle, still be able to maintain some balance within their life, that their living situation or, you know, bills that they had to pay, that all of this would not be in jeopardy if the two of you were to kind of move apart. So it seems like you're feeling that that's their main focus, is things in the material world, things that are very much surrounding that abundance, that stability. And so thoughts as far as the connection go, as far as their feelings about you and the connection and this separation, this pause, this kind of quiet state that you find yourselves in, this seems to be something that, as you're feeling it, it's very satisfactory to them. It's something that is, you know, it's very desirable, it's advantageous to them. As far as you're feeling it, there doesn't seem to be any kind of rush on this person's part to move back in your direction. With both of these pages here, they're just starting to really get their foothold in some other capacity of their life, starting to really build up that self-assurance and that confidence. And so as far as you're feeling it, there's no real indication of this person even having kind of a long-term plan or any immediate plans to move back in the direction of this connection, because they're in the process of creating this abundance and this wealth for themselves. With the sun here showing up on this abundance card as well, that, you know, this material stability is the source of joy, is the source of satisfaction for them. The accomplishments that they are achieving in that capacity are, you know, filling them with a sense of pride and goodwill. With that Page of Wands, it's very good news, the more that they are being rewarded and recognized for their efforts in that sense. And so in terms of emotions, love, and this connection, it also seems very, very satisfactory to just kind of put this on the back burner at this point in time. So now we're going to take a look at how are they actually feeling about this connection that may be different from how you think they feel. It could be kind of similar. We'll just see what comes up for group one. How are they actually feeling? Okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. The Knight of Swords, which is Air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Death. The Knight of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The Four of Wands, so more fire energy. And the Eight of Wands, so more fire energy also. And we also have play. Inner child. And truth. So right away I am sensing a movement of return. a return to the simpler times between the both of you. This desire to, even with that Ace of Pentacles, really start again or lay a firm foundation, as coupled with the Death card, which we saw both in the energy of how you think they feel, and it's showing up again now in the energy of how they truly feel. They are thinking about this ending between you, the state of the connection currently. And contrary to how you were thinking that they were very happy with the separation, it's giving them time to focus on, you know, the material aspects, building themselves up in other ways in terms of career or finance. There's a sense that that is accurate, that has been a focus for them. But unbeknownst to you, it feels that they have reached a point in that journey, in that endeavor, to where they feel stable enough, they feel confident enough to be able to deliver some truth to you about with the Knight of Wands, about, you know, this desire, this love that they have for you, or I'm sorry, with the Knight of Swords and then the Knight of Wands. So delivering this truth about the love they have for you, about this desire with the Four of Wands to, you know, create this stability, create this foundation, that they see you as somebody that they can really build with moving forward in their life. With this card, with this Ace of Pentacles here, and it's, you know, this big manor house, and with all this kind of acreage and land, and there's these animals, and, you know, this is speaking about, you know, this tangible and kind of material abundance and stability that ties in with this Four of Wands here. And so contrary to what you are thinking that they are feeling, they are actually working toward that. Their efforts in the material world are with the intention of having this, of creating this, in terms of this connection. Again, this desire to move back in this direction, to make that declaration to you that you are the person that they can envision themselves partnering with. There may have been some things that they needed to accomplish in their own life before they felt that they would be an adequate match, an adequate partner for you. With this Death card, it speaks to the inner child, this desire to resurrect this connection, to again return to these simpler times between you. With this Truth card here and these scales, and that's also bringing up that we had justice in how you're thinking that they're feeling with the, you know, and she's holding the scales of justice as well. And this speaks to, you know, balancing out the energies, balancing out the passion and the desire here with emotional vulnerability, becoming honest about their feelings for you, honest about their intentions, or revealing some kind of truth about the long-term potential that they see between you. With this Play card here and these two dolphins, and this is really speaking to me about this soulmate energy, this kindred soul energy that is also coming through with this Four of Wands, which is the 1111 card, sometimes called the twin flame card. And so it's again this feeling that this person has to partner up with you. They're recognizing in you qualities that are very compatible with their long-term desires, their long-term goals. Maybe your work ethics are very similar, or they feel in terms of once they have established this kind of self-assuredness, or this security for themselves in the material world, and to then branch that out to enter into partnership and start to build a legacy, build a family together. There's this feeling of recognizing you as the one to do that with. And with these two knights coming here, this is, you know, this urge that is kind of building within them to make this truth known to you, to deliver that truth, to, you know, speak that truth. It's something where, you know, they definitely are desiring a fresh start, desiring a new beginning with you. With this Eight of Wands card here, and, you know, she's got, it's almost like she's fashioned these sort of tools of manifestation. So this is really in the form of these wands that she has kind of laid out before her. And so this is really speaking about, you know, and it's in this kind of open sort of wilderness scene. So to me, this is really in this context speaking about the kind of the skills that they have acquired on their own, the wheels that they've set in motion on their own, the structures that they have put in place on their own, and they've got they've worked on having all these kind of components available, whether that's success or some money or some kind of independence or stability in their own right. And now they are wanting to create some kind of structure, create some kind of foundation, kind of come in from out of this this wilderness and this kind of solitary energy, and move instead in the direction of partnership, of restoring balance to this, speaking feelings which they're holding inside, that the more and more that they are reaching these goals and accomplishing these milestones that they've been focusing on, it's getting them closer to that point, to feeling that they would be an adequate match and ready to take things to the next level in this connection. So just as this energy is coming in here, any kind of distance or separation, maybe because they had again chosen to, pursue something with schooling, pursue something with work, maybe it was something that required them to move literally physically away from you, away from this connection while they focused on that. They're reaching a point of certain milestones having been met, and this energy of kind of this desire to resume the emotional closeness between you both, to give this relationship another chance, or really take things to the next level. Certain goals that they had in mind for themselves, they have reached these things. With the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, this is speaking to kind of like this fast action, this fast movement, the course that they had set out upon, a path which may have been kind of uncertain, it might have been kind of nebulous in terms of a time frame. They're progressing very quickly through their goals. They may be reaching these goals sooner than anticipated, and the evolution and growth and the rapidity at which this is happening, it is bringing them closer to that point of feeling ready to then partner up with you, to kind of bring love into their life, to prioritize or reprioritize love in order to move forward, and kind of in this energy of co-creation, this sort of joint effort that we are seeing here on the Four of Wands, to work together with you, to take the individual skills, the individual tools, the individual abundance that you both are bringing to this table, combine that into building this legacy, utilizing both of your strengths, kind of feeding upon that, working together in order to render those skills and abilities into the creation of dreams into reality. And that can both be within this connection and also in terms of in the practical material sense. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self for you, group 1. What do they want to say? All right, and they say, I struggle with love and expressing it. It just does not come easy for me. So this can be somebody who's very kind of logically based, thinks with the logical mind. They have trouble kind of working their way into the heart space. They've had difficulties in the past finding this balance, seeking this balance, cultivating this balance between their passions, their goals, their dreams, and their emotional needs. And so this could be something which really explains a decision that they made in the past to kind of step away from this connection, feeling that they wouldn't have the energy or the ability to really stretch themselves in both directions, feeling that it was an either or situation, an all or nothing when it came to love. And it feels like this person is kind of in this process of stretching beyond their limits to try to focus more on love and incorporate that more into what they are devoting their time and effort to, understanding the importance of love. As they're reaching these goals and milestones, they're sensing that something is missing for them. They're sensing this desire for closeness. It is starting to take a priority for them. And so this can be kind of this gradual unfolding, this process of, again, dropping into that heart space, creating that balance within themselves, within their life, speaking the truth that is on their heart, to kind of incorporate not just the passion that they have for the goals that they've set for themselves, but also to bring in some passion in terms of romance, in terms of personal fulfillment, and the fulfillment of both of you within the capacity of this connection. And they also say, I wish I could have loved you the way you deserve to be loved. So this person is sensing or feeling this regret out of the choice that they made. I think that it's a choice that they feel was the right choice to maybe focus on other things, to put things on hold in the past in this connection while they built some kind of abundance for themselves, made some accomplishments, worked toward a goal. But now that they are closer to that, or they've reached some of these goals, they're thinking back on the ending between the both of you with that death card that we saw coming up twice. They're definitely, this has been on their mind this whole time. There may have been periods of time where they were just kind of shutting these memories, shutting this desire out so that their full efforts could be focused on what they were trying to build going forward. But it feels like the energy of something where you've always been in their heart. You've been a companion with them in spirit through this journey that they have been on. And they're at a point right now of recognizing, realizing, and trying to construct the actions, trying to formulate the words necessary to convey to you that any kind of distance in the past was not a reflection of a lack of love. It was just, it was their maybe inability to kind of balance things out. Somebody who really gives their all to whatever it is holds priority for them. And again, just certain things they felt they needed to accomplish in their material world, and they didn't feel that they could devote the time, energy, and effort necessary to this love and also accomplishing their goals in the past. But they're moving into a direction of wanting to give more to this, wanting to co-create with this, incorporate this bond that you have and love in general into their life to enrich further the abundance that they are creating for themselves and experiencing at this time. And they also say, I wasn't ready for what you were offering. So another confirmation there of just, having other things that they needed to fulfill first, other dreams they needed to reach, goals they had to accomplish. And love was just, it was not a priority for them. It was something that they didn't feel equipped to show up and really build a connection that would be stable and lasting with you. And so in the past, they may have chosen to move in another direction, focus on other things, but they are now coming to a place of getting ready to expand their horizons and kind of reach out and unfold love in a way that they may not have been able or ready to do previously. So I'm going to get a few more messages for you, group one. All right, and they say, I let you get closer than anyone and it freaked me out. So this kind of ties in with that energy of maybe some mother wounds, some kind of fear of being smothered or a fear of abandonment that had really triggered them. And because of these other goals, these other dreams that they had, they chose to, instead of kind of leaning into that shadow, exploring that, learning to trust, it could have been something that they really just felt the need to push this connection away, to push that possibility away. It became almost, the triggering became a distraction that was impeding them from really accomplishing some other things in their life, or a method, a tool that they felt was the most reasonable choice at the time for dealing with that, was to counteract those feelings of maybe a fear of being controlled or a fear of loss by building some stability and independence and autonomy for themselves, so that, as I was saying earlier, regardless of what then panned out between the both of you in the future, if the connection then dissolved or crumbled, they would still have this very solid thing that they had built up for themselves. Their whole identity would not be consumed in the relationship between the both of you, but that they would be able to then carry on, move forward, and still, support themselves and maintain themselves. Have some accomplishments, some things to fall back on or to focus on, to not just allow, maybe a crumbling down of the potential crumbling down of the relationship to completely decimate them, to completely put them in a state of rock bottom and loss. And so again, these triggerings, this kind of fear within them, it really feels to have been the catalyst to devote fully to these pursuits in the material world in the past, at the expense of kind of a balanced devotion to love and kind of their desires for success. And they also say, I run hot and cold because I'm scared of being hurt. So that's that energy of maybe fear of loss, fear of abandonment, fear of being smothered. It fits in very well with this, this fire and water and the scales on this truth card, and this this balance that they are seeking between experiencing and applying the energy of passion to both romance and to their material pursuits, their goals, and that this is a process where they're learning to do this. They're learning to make room in their life for all the things that they want. They're learning to expand beyond that comfort zone, or that narrow view that it's got to be all or nothing, either or. Either they're focusing on their career, finances, building that stability, or they're devoting themselves to love. They're starting to realize that they can do both. They can make room for both. There's time for both. And they also say, I miss your scent, your love, and your energy. So this is that feeling of that you've always been with them in spirit, as they've been going through this process of, kind of accomplishing some things for themselves. And as these goals have been met, then it is kind of freeing up their psychic space to be able to, recall, like with that play card in the inner child, these kind of very good and innocent times that you shared together, this sweetness, this closeness, this sense of being a kindred spirit, this soulmate energy. And it speaks to, as with these night cards, this desire that they have, these feelings that they have, that they are giving some priority to now. They're allowing themselves to feel these things, allowing that to kind of bubble up from within, kind of uncaging that from within, and it is creating this desire within them to return to this connection, to devote more to this connection, to open up to you in ways that they may not have been fully prepared or willing to do in the past. So I'm going to take a look at the guidance from Spirit now for you, Group 1. And we have choices. And stop breaking agreements. So this is really speaking to me about the concept of a contract between your souls that you negotiated prior to this lifetime. This is an urge to really, reflect upon that, to almost take a wider view from the 3D circumstances of what is happening. The sense of rejection or loss that you're feeling based on the disconnect in this connection is very valid. That is very real. But at the same time, this feels to be guidance that there is a larger purpose for all of this. Through this separation, and specifically how this person was then able to, focus on their stability, on their abundance, on accomplishing some goals, maybe breaking some cycles within their family of certain accomplishments that others in generations previous were not able to achieve, but that this person has had the tools and the means and the desire, and the timing was just right. The circumstances were right, that they were the first in their lineage to accomplish some things, or to, take a different road, have the ability to choose a different road. And that this has been very important work beyond just the bounds of, your romantic soul connection. There are other contracts that your souls had with other souls that you have incarnated with, for certain work to be done, certain healing to be done, certain legacies to be honored or to be altered. And so this is really guidance to, again, take that wider view and recognize that this period of separation has not been in vain. The work to kind of change the trajectory for a bloodline that this person may have been actively participating in through what they've been focusing on. In a similar way, there have been certain things that you, whether you're consciously aware of it or not, that this time apart, this separation has afforded you that gift. And if it's something that you haven't really had the chance to look into, to search, to look back in your family history, your cultural history, and see how is the life that you are leading, how is this perhaps the wildest dreams of your ancestors or people that came before you, how are the choices that you are making or that you have the ability to make, where were these options not open to others before you, and to take a moment and appreciate how you are working to change the narrative for generations to come. You're actively seeking to act upon opportunities that others in the past may not have been able to. These options may not have been available to them. These roads of possibility may not have been open to them, or could have been closed at some point for various reasons. And so taking some time to really appreciate that beyond the sense of longing and loneliness that you have for this person in the separation, this time apart is really a gift that affords both of you the opportunity to accomplish some other things that your souls have set out to accomplish in this lifetime. Again, if you haven't given much thought to that in your own right, definitely now's the time to do that and to explore, as you know, instead of just sitting and lingering in this stuck energy of waiting, of just like missing this person, wanting this person, you know, kind of like focusing on them and their side of things and their aspect of the journey, and when will they return. You know, you have all this time. That energy, that psychic energy, that energy of passion and love can definitely be transmuted. It can be sort of redirected. Your focus can kind of go within, and you can say, now that you have, you know, this time and this space, what are some things that you can set out to accomplish that while you're in a partnership and your energies are being, you know, devoted to building that, you might not have the extra time or the energy to really focus on some of these other projects, these other kind of accomplishments or lessons or learnings. And so really using this time as a gift, you know, to be very mindful of where you are, where you've come from, where you would like to go, and kind of, you know, recognizing the honor that you have been bestowed through incarnating in this lifetime, and being, you know, of a spiritually minded nature, being somebody who is introspective, who has the capability of that, the, you know, the abundance of information and options that are available to people today that, you know, in generations past may not have been possible. To really seizing this opportunity, capitalizing upon that, and accomplishing some things for yourself or for others in your family line or your history that might not have been possible in the past. And while you're doing that, while you're focusing on that, building the abundance in your own life and, you know, for your own lineage, that helps to raise your vibration. You're then walking this parallel path that this person is walking, that makes both of the things you have set out to accomplish very valid. You know, you're doing the work, you're making good use of the time, and then it just kind of optimizes the potential for how you're able to come back into a harmonious union in the future. The things that you've learned, the growth that has taken place, both people having grown as opposed to, you know, one on a path of growth, another in maybe a state of stagnation or resistance, but making that choice, to actively engage in that, to do that inventory on self, and to really see, you know, what are some things that you can do that you'll be proud of yourself for having done further down the road, or others in generations to come will look back to you as an example, and be very proud of the things that you accomplished, cycles that were broken, or precedents that you established through your choices and the work that you did on yourself, and in terms of creating the life that you are excited to live. So I'm going to get some initials now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out. Okay, so we have D, X, R, T, C, Y, I, O, and H. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the red glass heart. So we'll take a look at these cards at the end. This will be some guidance from Spirit about this connection. So I'm going to start by looking at how you think this person feels about you and the connection, the circumstances between you currently for group 2. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. The Eight of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The Knight of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The Devil, which is Capricorn. King of Swords, so more air energy. And the Emperor, which is Aries. We also have sound, community, and boundaries. So it looks like you are thinking that this person is deliberately staying stuck between pride and ego. There's an unwillingness on this person's part to evolve, an unwillingness to maybe recognize the truth of this connection, or the truth of some feelings they may have denied in the past. Perhaps a choice that was made to focus on other things in terms of some material pleasures or material desires with the devil there. Addiction could have been a factor in this previously. Almost a fear of this person also, of becoming addicted to this connection, dependent on this connection. There could in fact be some codependence that this person had a tendency toward in the past, maybe other relationships that they had experienced that fell into that category, and that this person was just has been operating from a very closed off stance, kind of keeping themselves trapped of their own volition away from the exploration of this love. This could be something also where you are sensing that the opinions of others with this community card here is weighing very strongly on this person, that instead of really following their heart with the Knight of Cups, searching for that wisdom within, and with the Knight of Wands acting upon that, allowing that truth to kind of propel them forward toward meeting you in the middle in this connection, or exploring this connection. This person could have put up some walls, some boundaries. Again, the opinions of others really serving as a wedge between you, between the potential here. With the Sound card, you could be feeling that maybe this person is really listening to gossip. Again, listening to the opinions of other people, taking that very much to heart. There is a feeling that they are satisfied with the life that they are living, with the situation between the both of you, that operating from this pride and ego stance is something which, it's a comfort zone of theirs. And there's a sense that you are getting that they feel no need to move beyond that. They feel no need for change. This feels very much here with this devil, this King of Swords, and this Emperor, that this person is deeply entrenched in a mindset, in a belief system, almost this stubborn energy of whatever they may have said in the past, or kind of the blockages they may have put up, or the resistance that occurred to leaning into this connection in the past, that this is something which you're feeling that has not changed. There has been no evolution. There has been a resistance to evolving that, with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands, and then we have this Eight of Swords kind of position there in the middle, that wedge right in the middle there. So a sense of not listening to their heart, not listening to the truth of their soul, perhaps the words that you had spoken to them in the past having fallen on deaf ears. There's a sense that, you know, they misunderstood, they missed the meaning, they misinterpreted the love you were trying to give to them, and that you're feeling that they are feeling vindicated in that they are feeling that this is the right choice, whatever choice in the past was made to resist this connection, that they're still operating from that stance. Nothing has changed. You could also be feeling that they are looking at this connection as a low vibrational energy, that they are seeing this, they're seeing you as a temptation, something that were they to act upon that, it would really threaten their stability. It would threaten the opinions that others have of them. And so this feeling that that you are you're sensing that they are attaching to this connection and to you. It's something which it doesn't look like there's a desire to evolve beyond that. There's not a desire. There's a deliberate blindness to seeing reality, to seeing beyond maybe what they have been told by others, the opinions of others, or just the perceptions that they have had, maybe based on the deep chemistry that you both have shared in the past, that you've experienced in the past. And this person just having kind of dismissed that as, you know, just very lustful energy, not really wanting to see kind of the emotional depths that were possible between the both of you, but really just kind of compartmentalizing this connection into something that could again lead into some kind of potential codependency, or would really just serve to kind of put them into a state of bondage from reaching their goals, kind of this fear of being trapped within the confines of this connection, instead of seeing this connection as a source of liberation for them, that you're imagining that they are feeling that this connection would in fact constrict them. And so it is that resistance to capture that is causing them to keep these strong boundaries, to be very resistant, to be very closed off to the potential of growing this connection into something beyond the state in which you currently find yourselves. So I'm going to take a look now at how is this person actually feeling. And this can be different, contrary to how you imagine that they are feeling, or it can match up to that. We'll see what comes out. For group 2, how is this person actually feeling about the connection? Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Two of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Six of Pentacles, so more earth energy. Five of Cups, so more water energy. Judgment. Oh, I'm sorry, Judgment is Scorpio energy. And Two of Cups, so more water energy. And we also have Rebirth. Psychic development. And holistic health. So this is indicating that this person is actually, they are in their heart space a lot more than you would have imagined, or that they are making known based on anything you are seeing from them in the material world, anything you're sensing from them energetically, where there may be a perception of boundaries or contentment with how things are, a decision that may have been made in the past. There is a sense of something shifting, something really awakening within this person with this psychic development, something that has become apparent to them, that has become clear to them. With this Two of Chalices, and this Two of Cups, this speaks to this soulmate energy. So something that may have become clear, where in the past they may have chosen to really take the opinions of others into consideration in terms of this connection, or really seek to block it off out of a fear of getting kind of entangled in a very toxic and codependent situation. That there is in fact there's a softening to that stance with the Two of Pentacles. They're starting to shift to another perspective. They're seeing things with new eyes, with this Rebirth card, and also with the Judgment card, which in this particular deck, Judgment, it's called the Harvest. And so it's you know, this concept of reawakening, this new life, this abundance, kind of this vitality that is infused back into the connection. And it shows, you know, these two people here who are cohabitating. They're working together, their efforts together have really produced this bounty, this fruit, this sustenance. And so this person is really, what they're actually feeling about this connection is a deep appreciation for this. This has led, this triggering perhaps these fears and these wounds that have come up. It has put them on this journey to healing, to really searching within with this holistic health. This is, you know, red. This is this root chakra. That's that sense of, you know, identity, that sense of safety, of security, security in the material world, security in one's own identity, feeling very rooted and grounded in reality, and that this is something which in the course of separation, in the course of the space, beneath the silence, kind of the walls that this person has put up, there's been a metamorphosis which has taken place within them, where they are recognizing that this connection, the bond between the both of you, is something that can be very nurturing. It can almost be the anecdote with this Five of Cups here to any kind of loss that they may have experienced in love, or any perceptions of loss, a loss of their own identity within kind of like the boundaries of a relationship. And they're starting to shift that focus into the Six of Pentacles, where they're starting to recognize how this connection really provides them the opportunity for growth. It gives to them adequately. It's an equal give and take. This is not a situation of someone who is seeking them out only for what can be provided, somebody who would be very dependent on this person, but they are starting to recognize kind of the reciprocity of energy, definitely an energy exchange that is still occurring between the both of you, and a period of separation or silence, which is causing them to really appreciate this, almost the desire to give just for the the sheer act of giving, the exchange between the both of you. This speaks to this feeling within this person of having, seen things from a new light, recognizing things from a new light, recognizing you as a soulmate. And that could have been some of this resistance as well. Almost this fear of wish fulfillment, some issue within themselves maybe of not feeling worthy or deserving of happiness because up to this point they have only experienced disappointment. And so beneath the surface there is, change occurring with that. This person is feeling this urge to give into this connection, to be more generous with their emotions, to participate in this connection rather than continue to hold back and withdraw themselves from it. There's this desire that they have to nurture this, to heal some wounds, some misunderstandings that may have occurred with you in the past. That Six of Pentacles, perhaps in the form of delivering an apology or some kind of recompense for what had been withdrawn in the form of love, perhaps in the past, or a denial of feelings, kind of pushing this connection away, maybe even in terms of, and when it comes to that energy of maybe others and community, maybe, speaking ill of the connection, speaking ill of you to others in the past. And there's almost this sense of regret that is taking place with that Five of Cups, this sense of really having lost out on the opportunity for love, having lost out through their actions in the past on this potential for happiness and fulfillment and true partnership, equitable partnership, this equal give and take with a romantic partner that goes beyond just the energies of passion and of lust, but on multiple levels, emotionally, having their needs met, this desire to meet your needs, this sense of kinship, but with you, where their needs are almost known, they are almost recognized, they are almost anticipated. This very unique bond, with the psychic development, this almost spiritual layer to this connection, this familiarity that, again, the depth of that could have really frightened this person in the past and caused them to just kind of put up walls and push this away as kind of a defense mechanism. But it's something where that stance is really softening within them. And so they are actually feeling, they're moving into the energy of generosity as far as this connection is concerned, really admitting to feelings or giving more into this connection, both in terms of emotions, but also with that Six of Pentacles, time, effort, energy, practical things that demonstrate. It's demonstrations of love beyond just words of love. It's actions of love. It's declarations, maybe even to others, to their community, to their family, that you are the person that they choose, that things they may have denied in the past out of a fear of being judged, or maybe others didn't understand or approve of your relationship, and that really this person took that into consideration, the words of others, and allowed that to put a wedge between the both of you. They're not sitting in that energy anymore. They're softening. They're dropping down into the heart space. They're listening to that over just the opinions of others. This kind of intellectual kind of thought space. They're moving more into the energy of feeling, sensing and desiring that they want a renewal of this. They want a resurrection of this connection. Some kind of spiritual awakening may have taken place, some kind of a download that they may have received, or some kind of a confirmation. This person could have also kind of behind the scenes really been asking for a sign of what to do in this, or asking for a sign about if you're their soulmate, if you're the one for them. And I feel that they've received that sign, they've received that confirmation. Something has really clicked for them in this capacity, to where they're now shifting into this space of certainty and this desire to explore and give to this connection emotionally in ways in which they were not able or willing to in the past. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self for you now. Group 2, what do they want to say? All right, and they say the distance between us is killing me. So this again speaks to that energy of wanting to come back together, to give into this, to kind of merge your energies. We also, on this holistic health card here, there are these two entwined serpents that are kind of ascending this wand here, this medical symbol, this caduceus. And this really speaks to some kind of kundalini awakening that may have occurred within this person, or just a desire to combine forces with you, recognizing the sameness in your energies, and wanting to work with that, to blend back together with you, to try to meet you in the middle, to compromise more. And it's this, again, like with this distance is killing me energy of this desire to come back together, to explore this, a kind of a changing of the mind from resistance into acceptance of this connection. And they also say, there is no good reason for the way I acted. I wish I could apologize. So this to me refers to if they'd taken the opinions of others into consideration and maybe, pushed this connection away because it was being judged by others. They feared that they would be judged, maybe based on something specific about you or the nature of how you met. Something, you may have just been very different from the kind of partner which is expected by their family. You could have been very much like an opposites attract energy, and it's something where they allowed, like with that devil card, almost this energy of fear to kind of navigate them, to allow them to create this wedge, this wall between the both of you. And now that they're dropping down into this heart space, there is this energy, like with that 5 of Cups, of regret, this sense of having lost out, or even in this this 5 of Cups here, this woman's pouring out this cup, just kind of discarding that. So they're taking a lot of ownership on themselves at this point in time for the actions in the past and how they have really self-sabotaged. And it's seeming very senseless to them. That's why they're shifting into this energy of wanting to give, wanting to kind of restore some of this balance between the both of you that in the past they may have just, instead of accepting that cup of love that you were offering, they just kind of turned that away or discarded that. And they're feeling very foolish for that. And they also say, I never truly moved on ever, though I appear so. So that ties in with that energy of, they may be putting on airs of being very confident, very assured, very satisfied in the way that they've constructed themselves, operating from a space of fear and ego. You could have this sense, this feeling that they have not given this connection a second thought, that they have not entered into any state of regret or reconsideration for what decisions or words or actions were said or taken in the past. But this is very contrary to what is actually going on within them. All of that is basically just, it's a front, it's a mask. They're in this process also of kind of dislodging themselves from the opinions of others, kind of with this energy of awakening and rebirth that's happening here. They, in many ways in their life, could be in this process of kind of transcending things that no longer resonate with them, up to and including the image of themselves that they have presented in the past. And so part and parcel with that is this connection with you, is the identity of who they are at their core, which is revealed through the very intense and deep energetic bond between the both of you that that could have also instilled a lot of fear. This sense of knowing between the both of you, almost the mirror that was held up to where their authenticity could not hide. And it's something, this could be somebody who for quite a while has put up facades. They have become very comfortable in this state of presenting an image that is very contrary to the true desires of their soul, the nature of who they truly are. And so through this connection and really, feeling this urge to bring that part of them out, to kind of discard the masks, move beyond that and step into that authenticity that could have been very triggering for this person. They could have just kind of projected onto that a fear of being controlled or manipulated, and so they, push the connection away. And as time has kind of gone on, they are starting to recognize that they were operating from a very wounded state, utilizing a lot of defense mechanisms, trying to stay very entrenched within a comfort zone, albeit even an uncomfortable comfort zone, but something which is nonetheless familiar. And the more that they've had time to kind of feel into this bond that perpetuates between the both of you despite the silence, and they're dropping into that heart space, heart chakra activations could be taking place, spiritual awakening, kundalini awakening, all kind of things energetically happening for this person. It's starting to make them aware of the distance between the person they have been projecting themselves to be and who they truly are. And they feel that they are in this state of wanting to bridge that gap, to bring more of their true self out into the forefront. And that includes bringing more of the truth of their emotions for you in this connection out to be displayed for others. So I'm going to get a few more messages for you, group 2, from this person. All right, and they say, please don't give up on me. So they're hoping that your heart will still be open to them when they have gone through this process of metamorphosis in their own life, when they have come to the point of really allowing this awareness that is awakening within them, this truth of their heart space, and they have allowed that to permeate their resolve, and they have created a plan of action and carried that out in your direction to make this declaration, present some kind of apology, make amends. They are hoping that it will not be too little too late, and that your heart is still open to them in the way it was previously. And they also say, you're so much stronger than I am. So they could be feeling very intimidated by the intensity and authenticity of the love that you have had for them that may have been a truth that was apparent to you from the beginning. This person could have really denied or rejected a love offer from you, could have really denied even feeling anything for you, denied the connection or rejected the connection. And they're seeing that a strength in the ability that you have had from the very beginning to recognize and embrace the possibility and potential that existed energetically between the both of you. And so this is very daunting. They feel that they have, a lot of work to do to kind of get up to that level of being able to embrace that, to embody that, and to announce that to others, regardless of the opinions of others. They're also recognizing you as somebody who, just in general in your life, has really stepped into a place of authenticity. It's something that they admire. It's serving as an example to them. And as they are seeing you, they're able to even just feel into you energetically and recognize how you're raising your vibration. They recognize, the truth of who you are at the soul level, at the core level. It's something which, it has really inspired them to also seek that out within themselves. Who are they truly? To allow that to kind of overtake any masks or kind of false personas that they have been displaying to the world and operating in. And they also say, you see beneath my masks to the real me. So that was definitely coming out of perceiving beneath this persona. And that could have been something which was very frightening to them at first. Kind of a fear of being found out, discovered for who they truly are, parts of themselves that they've just kind of shelved away, hidden away. And so that could have been something that led to this distrust or this mistrust, almost this fear of exposure. The fear of the call that your soul had given to them to do the similar work, to step into love, to allow their true self to shine out. And that could have been definitely the motivation for kind of running from this, pushing this away, listening to the opinions of others, speaking badly about the connection or you, denying feelings, kind of running away from this, blocking off this connection. It really comes down to a fear of vulnerability for this person, which they feel that they are in a space of recognizing that tactic or that defense mechanism within them, and with that holistic health, they're in this process of starting to heal that wound within them, starting to kind of discard some of those coping mechanisms, those defense mechanisms, and stepping more into their own autonomy to make decisions for themselves from the heart space. So I'm going to take a look now at the guidance cards from Spirit for group 2. And we have New Chapter and Reverse Dissociation. So this is really speaking to, again, this energy of rebirth, this desire for a rebirth, shifting away from the stance that you may have been at previously with this reverse dissociation of, this masculine and feminine polarity that all of us have within ourselves. And then also in the dynamics of this connection, regardless of gender, the who would be considered, the quote divine masculine and quote the divine feminine, and this energy that you have both been in of the wedge of being really turned away from this person really denying some things within themselves, denying some things about the connection, denying some truth of their feelings, recognizing that this connection, in fact, has the key to unlock so much potential for them. And with this new chapter, this is really speaking to this shift that is taking place, the potential for new opportunity here, for moving from this place of turning away to turning inward, this place of coming back together, this place of cohesion that we also see here in the caduceus with the two serpents, kind of this entwining of the energy to create more of a solid and stable structure between the both of you, both within yourselves. I feel this is something, you're both actively engaged in. This person is now on this journey of kind of reconciling these portions of themselves, sort of the light and the shadow aspects, the masculine and feminine polarities within themselves. And as they are coming to terms with that, kind of the illusions they presented versus the authenticity of who they are, they're stepping into a time of really transforming themselves, and therefore being able to transform how they show up in love and in this connection, being able to really give to this connection, being emotionally vulnerable in ways in which they may have been very fearful, fear-based, and closed off in the past. So I'm going to get some initials now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person. You can spell something out. Oh, and just before I get into that with this, kind of just the final word then with this guidance here is to really trust that this newness is happening. Almost this metamorphosis is taking place beneath the surface for both of you as individuals, and then ultimately that can open up the potential to, as you come together within yourselves as two fully integrated beings, these polarities within yourself, then it increases the potential of a new beginning, some different experience with each other as two very integrated beings going forward in the future. So now I will get the initials, first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out for group 2. All right, so we have G, J, T, Y, S, F, R, I, Q, and X. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the Jade heart. So I'm going to take a look at these cards at the end. This will be some guidance from Spirit about this connection. I'm going to start off with how you think they feel about you, the connection, the circumstances you find yourselves in for group 3. Okay, so we have the 9 of Pentacles, which is Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. The Fool, which is Aries. Knight of Swords, which is Air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The Hanged Man, which is Pisces. Queen of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. 10 of Wands, so more fire energy. Freedom. Rest. And angel assistance. So it looks like you're feeling that this person is reveling in a sense of liberation. You're sensing that the connection, the bond between you, maybe the evolution that was required in this person, energetically or directly, maybe through some ultimatums that were given that they chose not to honor, not to act upon, or could not live up to, that this was something that it was really functioning as a burden for them, that in the past they felt very encumbered, very weighed down by the connection, by the dynamic between the both of you, or the soul work that was asked of them. And so a period of separation, of pause between the both of you is something which has really given them a sense of deep satisfaction. It has allowed them to take a step in a direction of their own choosing. It's something where they feel free to express themselves in a way that might not have been possible in the connection in the past. There's a sense that you're feeling that this person regards the end between the both of you as an act of divine intervention and grace, almost to liberate them from the soul work, the soul evolution, to allow them to instead focus on themselves, focus on really standing in their power as they are, without having to do any work, to do any growth. There's a sense that you are feeling that this person feels very empowered by the separation. It's something which, the time period of separation between the both of you, it's a well-needed rest from the connection. And there's a sense that this person is just languishing in that. They are relishing that. They're taking full advantage of that time apart to really just go in their own direction, to continue to remain very independent. determining the course of their life on their own terms. There's a sense that you are feeling that they have no immediate desires to couple up, to come back together, that they are very content moving forward, charging forward with that Knight of Swords, just in a direction that is almost self-serving. Something where, you know, they have a clear trajectory and it is forward movement. There's a sense that you are feeling that they are not looking back on this connection, on the past at all, almost with that Queen of Wands, a sense of having burned the bridge between the both of you, with that Fool having taken a step off into the unknown, beyond the bounds of whatever, you know, this foundation that you two might have established together, that with a sense of glee they have kind of stepped off, removed themselves, and that there's no going back from that. That whatever has happened, maybe through this Knight of Swords, whatever kind of blunt communication happened in the past, words that were spoken, you know, kind of squashing this connection, or putting this connection on a back burner, expressing a desire not to pursue this connection, that it's something that is irreparable. And there's a sense that you're feeling that they have no regret in that capacity, that this has liberated them to really pursue other things in their life, or there's this energy of seeking this counterpart, seeking this match for themselves, but that you're sensing that they are not in any way identifying that with you. They're still in this energy of pursuit. They're still in this energy of exploration. This can also, with this Rest card here, and this kind of this idyllic sort of island scenery, there's a sense that this person could you know, just really be focused on kind of the pleasures of life, really just having a good time, that this is somebody who is not interested in the serious work of working on themselves, or even attempting to work to rebuild this connection between the both of you. That with this angel assistance here as well, and these wings, that the separation between you has really given this person the ability to kind of fly off in other directions in the pursuit of other things, new horizons. There's an energy of disinterest here as you are anticipating their feelings. There's almost this sense of that they feel there's nothing worthwhile to look back on, that this person is only geared toward forward momentum, moving forward, moving beyond the connection, almost with this Hanged Man here, and it's this almost this entombed and bound figure hanging from this tree, to just kind of leave this connection, leave the memories and the experiences and the potential of the past, very enclosed, and just kind of leaving that in suspended animation, with no immediate plans to return, to kind of resurrect this, to kind of liberate the energy between the both of you from the place that it's at. This could be something also where, you know, this person might have really blocked off communication, cut off communication. They could have deleted their social media as well. There's no way to really sense and know for certain what it is that they are doing, what it is that they're up to. All of this is very energetically based. The feelings that you are having, you're really left to just guess, to, with the angel assistance, really ask for signs, guidance, kind of trust some exterior things that you're getting that are resonating with you as clues or confirmations about what's happening with this person, but that they have really moved in another direction with their life, and you're feeling that they have no immediate plans to return, that it's just onward and upward, in a whole new direction, in a whole new area, and that you're feeling that they're very satisfied with how things have played out, and that you're just kind of left hanging. You're just kind of left with these feelings and this confusion, kind of carrying this burden now within yourself about what went wrong, why they were not able to see what you could see about the potential between the both of you. Kind of this yin-yang energy on this Freedom card here, how, you know, you both might have been kind of an opposites attract, but it worked so well together, that you're just kind of left with this sense that they are still oblivious to this. They're unwilling to see this. They're unwilling to look at that, to change course. They're not operating from the heart space, but very much from this almost this this kind of aggressive and hungry energy to seek more, to find something more, that their wish fulfillment is elsewhere. But at the same time, this also feels to be somebody you're feeling that is just very, they're quick to move on to the next thing. Nothing really satisfies them and fulfills them. This is somebody you're feeling who really is resistant to being kind of tied down in a relationship, tied down to any one thing, needs to be very free-flowing, have the freedom of movement, the freedom of exploration, and somebody who is just not at a place of really wanting to set roots in their life in general, or even specifically as this connection is concerned. So let's take a look now at how they are actually feeling about you and the connection. And this can be similar to, it can confirm what you are thinking that they are feeling, or this can be contrary to that. We'll just see what comes out for group 3. How is this person truly feeling about the connection? Okay, so we have the 8 of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Two of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Judgment, which is Scorpio. Queen of Wands, so more fire energy. Seven of Pentacles, so more earth energy. Three of Cups, water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Love. Personal power. And life purpose. So it feels like this person with this Judgment card here is going through some kind of a spiritual awakening. Something is becoming apparent to this person. Something has become clear to this person as far as the importance of love, the love that they had the potential of with you, this sense of really wanting to create some balance, restore some balance. This almost feels like the energy of kind of merging the head and the heart as well, and allowing love to empower them on their personal journey throughout life. As it pertains to this connection, this person is starting to recognize you as a kindred soul, as part of their soul family. They are somebody who is starting to recognize that the joy and the good times that you shared with them in the past, that this is a source of blessing, of power. It is not something to where, maybe this person had some kind of fears of commitment, that in general, like nothing was satisfying. They just were kind of moving from one thing to another out of a fear of kind of missing out or limiting themselves in some way of opportunities and potential and what they could become and experience. But that there's a shift that is happening where they're starting to kind of prioritize and put some importance on foundations that are laid with the Seven of Pentacles here. And it's this person who's kind of polishing these wooden pentacles with this little jar that says shellac So that speaks to, really preservation, preserving something that, the experiences they've had up to this time, both with you and in their life in general, that these are memories and experiences which need to be cherished. It's something that's worth holding on to. The experiences that they've had with you in the past, these are in fact treasures. The potential of what this love could lead to is something which is it's becoming of greater importance to them. They are starting to place value upon that. They're starting to really take a look and kind of move beyond this energy of pleasure seeking into an interest in stability. Kind of with this Eight of Wands, and she's got, these wands right here, almost these tools laid out in kind of this wilderness scene, this wide open possibility, that this person is in a process of learning to kind of rein in that passion, rein in this desire for exploration, and kind of focus that in more of a concrete fashion as it pertains to this connection. The passion which they felt for you in the past, which may have really kind of frightened them in the sense of, they didn't really want to be tied down. They wanted to be able to really be autonomous. They didn't want to limit themselves in their experiences. Maybe they felt that they weren't ready to settle down. They still had kind of more life to lead, kind of like sowing their oats, so to speak, for male or female, gender aside, just this idea of wanting to go out and experience things, seek out that correct partner, that other experiences that they may have had, that it's all just kind of adding up to these lessons, these tools that they have now of being able to really decide and craft for themselves the partnership and the life that they want to lead. They're putting some importance with this harvest here. This is the Judgment card, but it's called Harvest in this deck. And it shows these two people kind of coming together, working together in this agrarian setting to, tend and nurture these plants, work the land in order to create and experience this bounty, this nourishment, for themselves and together as a couple. And so this really speaks to, again, this awakening that is taking place, that you are somebody that they can co-create with, that the riches to be experienced through this love are becoming known to them. They're starting to place some priority on that. They're starting to really recognize that, how kind of like many hands make light work. So any things that goals or dreams or passions that they've been pursuing, that they've been just kind of going alone up to this point, there's a desire for partnership, for companionship. They could still, with this Three of Cups, be in the energy of exploration, kind of starting to put some priority on that, kind of determining their life purpose as well. The direction of their life, where do they want to go, the results that they want to experience. This connection between the both of you is definitely a consideration, but there may still be other players in this potential, in this situation. There could still be other connections that they're exploring, other people that they're in the process of kind of vetting out, or even still just kind of keeping their mind open to the possibility that perhaps this soulmate energy is in somebody else. There's this energy of kind of indecisiveness as well with this Two of Pentacles, and not really sure kind of where their heart belongs, where that happiness belongs, prioritizing that, seeking to explore that, kind of rein things in a little more from just being like a feather in the wind to really with these birds here in these three cards and this deliberate flight to really creating a plan and a plan of action, a plan of attack, a way forward, kind of more deliberate movement, where they may have just been kind of operating on whims and wherever that would take them, their desires, their interests, or inspirations. becoming more deliberate about that. And so with this Queen of Wands that is showing up both in the energy of how you think they're feeling and in the energy of how they are actually feeling, this is really speaking to, again, this person just still operating largely from an impassioned place. Still somebody who is very much, go-getter, exploration, somebody who wants to blaze their own trail. But in this card right here, it's, I'm drawn to the fact that this is an older woman versus in the original card that came out with how they're feeling. And, this is somebody who's kind of more youthful. So I'm feeling this sense that just almost this kind of this Casanova energy, or this kind of just very in and out energy. It's something which it's getting old. It's wearing thin for them. It's something which is not sustainable in the long-term future. They're starting to get a little more serious. They're starting to want to build relationships and experiences that are lasting. They're putting more priority on that, on quality versus quantity. But it's still somebody who's in the evolutionary stage of things. So in terms of how they're feeling about this connection, I feel that they're putting more priority and precedence on you as a potential candidate for them in their search. There's something which is starting to make sense to them, that there is lasting and long-term potential, both for love and also to empower them, that you are somebody as a partner that would both challenge and uplift them at the same time. You're somebody that they can grow with, somebody that they can move through life with, that step by step you both can, rise together into a higher version of self. You can really, this person feels like in general in a process of aligning with their life's purpose, figuring out what that is, what they want for themselves, and taking steps to achieve that. They're recognizing you as somebody that they could have that with. You're definitely where they may have kind of overlooked this in the past, or not really recognize that something is coming back around to them. Something is coming to light. It's becoming apparent, but they still feel in this energy also with that Three of Cups of really deciding, still in this process of trying to figure that out. If for sure, if this is the one, if this is the direction that they want to go in, kind of right on that precipice of making a decision, time passing, and the methods that they were using before, it is something which is leaving them feeling very isolated. Kind of these more superficial relationships, or not being willing or able to commit and kind of set down roots within a connection, within love. It's something that, they may have enjoyed that solitude and that freedom before, but it almost feels that it's getting a bit burdensome. It's something where, they might be starting to look around them and see others around them who are starting to partner up, starting to couple up, starting to settle down, build a family, build a life together. And it's kind of making this person realize that, this is a path, this is a road that they eventually want to be on as well. They're starting to kind of make that shift. The direction is kind of shifting. The priorities are starting to shift. They're starting to understand how they can both, stay in this power, in this autonomy, while at the same time co-creating and building something with another, that together in a loving relationship, empowerment in other ways can be achieved, can be attained, that this is something where, they're kind of moving out of that energy of wanting to just go it alone and be very unattached, to really blending forces, to combining forces, combining efforts with another to build something lasting and of value. So in terms of their feelings, it's starting to shift, it's starting to change, but it feels that they're still in this process of just beginning to do that work, just starting to kind of bring it in from a very wide and free and just unattached energy to things starting to make sense, things starting to become apparent to them, reconsidering this connection, reconsidering you as a potential future partner, someone that they want to build a long-term future with, kind of in this process of elimination, of recognizing how others that are in their life don't really fit that criteria of the soulmate energy, the person that they can really build and grow with. Getting closer and closer to that truth, to that illumination, to that awakening, that awareness of who their true match is, who their true counterpart is. But still, this feels like just in this kind of beginning stages. They're just starting in this. They're starting to feel that pressure of not being as satisfied with lifestyles and choices of the past, and starting to feel that kind of that regret and that loss of something stable, the potential of something very true that may have come at the expense of them pursuing just kind of this very independent and free-spirited, unattached energy of the past. So I'm going to get some messages from this person's higher self for you, group 3. What do they want to say? All right, and they say, we've both changed a great deal. I fear you moved on from me. So a lot of time might have passed since they chose not to act upon this connection, or just kind of moved away from things. And you know, there's evolution taking place within them. Also with that kind of that aging queen on the Queen of Wands here, you know, this speaks to this time having gone on, and you know, the person that you both were, maybe this is somebody you knew when you were younger, kind of young love, and it's as time has gone on, you know, there's just this single life is not really cutting it, it's not really doing it for this person anymore, and so that could be part of this indecision as far as, has too much time passed? Have you both grown apart? Are you both the same people that you remember each other as at the core? Obviously your life circumstances would have changed, would have evolved. Even disappointment and pain kind of changes people, kind of shapes people or reshapes them. So all of this can be part of this kind of this process of deciding, of kind of vetting their options, kind of searching through these options about, you know, is there even the chance to resurrect this, to act upon this, to lay down roots with you, to build upon this, where in the past they may have chosen not to. And so that unknowing is keeping them in this energy of wanting to explore the possibility and plan for the potential that there is no going back from where you find yourselves, that there is no building a future from this point, and still having that interest or that priority in having something more solid, stable, and lasting for them in terms of romance. And so really exploring that in the possibility that you are not open to them, that there is no way to rebuild upon this or kind of move forward, that there still is this desire in this person to have that closeness, that bond, and that companionship ultimately in the long term with somebody. And they also say, each day I think about how it would be like if we were together. One day I will be ready to surrender. So this speaks about that process this person is in of, again, kind of honing things in, kind of moving from this energy of free-spirited, unattached, just wherever their whims and the road takes them, into getting more serious, putting more priority on kind of a solid foundation, on laying roots. It speaks and confirms to, again, that this is just a process that they're in. It really feels like just something that is starting to become aware to them. They're still largely operating in that very kind of free-spirited, unattached, uninterested in anything serious. They're still largely in this very independent energy. But there is a shift that is beginning to take place where the things which hadn't really mattered to them before in terms of love, stability, security, partnership are starting to matter. And they also say, I look at your pictures for hours on end. You are still so beautiful to me. So this speaks to that, you know, thinking back on the past that you had, maybe some kind of young love, a relationship that you were in with them before, or even just a friendship that really didn't evolve to anything else. And as they're in this process of starting to really get serious about what they want for themselves in partnership, this desire for serious companionship, for, you know, a lasting relationship, and, you know, really taking into consideration, thinking back even on people they've been with from the past, and who really has that potential to revisit this, to re-explore this, who is somebody that they would want to build with going forward. And of all the options of people they've been with previously, you definitely feel like somebody that they strongly are drawn to, as, you know, you have these qualities, these characteristics, this bond of somebody that, you know, works really well with them. It's starting to come to their awareness, just this compatibility, almost this yin to the yang energy. And so with this energy of looking back on photos that they may have, or even just kind of daydreaming, reminiscing, imagining the times that you shared together in the past, they're starting to recognize some value and worth that they may have overlooked, not even in terms of physically, like in terms of your looks, but energetically, in some of these other qualities that you shared, this compatibility that you shared that has been unlike the bond or the energy that has been exchanged with others. So I'm going to get some more messages for you, group 3, from this person. All right, so we have, please don't give up on me. So they're hoping that it will not be too little too late when they return to you, when they make an offer, or are ready to really step up and commit and become very serious, when kind of this period of self-discovery, this lone wolf energy, when they kind of move out of that, they're hoping that there will be an opportunity to build something together in the future. And they also say, I need to be alone right now to figure out my life. So that was coming up in terms of both how you are thinking that they are feeling about this connection, and it also is here in terms of how they are really feeling about this connection. They're still in this process of soul searching, of seeking and really coming to understand what it is they are in fact searching for. And they also say, you make me feel seen. So this is tying into some of those intangible qualities that are really drawing them to you, that are really, they're reminiscing on, that's making them feel that you are, you know, this solid and long-term match for them, someone they could really build with, that this attraction, this bond, this chemistry, it goes beyond just physical attraction. That definitely feels to be a component here. There's a lot of compatibility in that sense, a lot of mutual attraction. But on the energetic level, you're somebody who just fits very well with this person. Definitely that energy of the yin to the yang, you know, your strengths and the challenging aspects of self. You fit very well and complement very well in those aspects. Kind of the weaker aspects of this person, those are your strengths, and vice versa. So you fit very well together. Together, you're both, you know, it's an empowering sense, it's an empowering connection, an empowering bond, that this person, you know, they're starting to recognize that. They're starting to put priority on that. They're starting to see that these are the ingredients for a very successful future, a very successful partnership to really build and co-create. It's something where, you know, again, because of these characteristics where you balance each other out, that so much more is possible in terms of what you can create together, how you can really encourage and fuel each other in the pursuit of your dreams, in the pursuit of being your best selves. So I'm going to take a look at the guidance from Spirit now for you, group 3. And we have Celestial Teacher and Access Clear Thinking. So this is really confirming, again, this process that this person is in right now of really coming to terms, really figuring out what it is they want for themselves going forward, recognizing that the life they may have been leading up to this point may have been fulfilling for them up to a certain point, but it's this sense of something more, wanting something more, identifying that what they have built for themselves in terms of romance, in terms of fulfillment. It's insufficient. There's not much they can do with that. It's going nowhere. It's kind of reached its pinnacle. It's not as exciting or alluring as it once was. And they're starting to, you know, kind of see outside of the parameters of how they'd been leading their life. And they're starting to kind of follow these threads of almost with the Celestial Teacher, this divine intervention, this call of their soul, to really, you know, explore, perhaps re-explore something something that they had walked away from in the past in the form of this connection. They're starting to really connect the dots, or sort of follow these threads of ideas, recognize that thread that connects the both of you at the soul level, and to really follow that in a direction of a life that is more fulfilling, something that is a lot more solid and gives a lot more to them than what they have been experiencing, and kind of the long-term and substantial rewards of that. So they are in a process of, with the celestial teacher, really learning about themselves, really learning some lessons as well. This person can be, kind of with that energy of that aging queen on the Queen of Wands, and kind of what was really fun and exciting for them before, that they're starting to feel they're getting kind of old for this behavior, or it's just kind of lost its luster. It's not as appealing, that this person is in this process through this unfoldment and evolution of learning the lessons of ways in which they may have kind of turned their nose up at blessings, or they had really just sought to focus on kind of immediate pleasures, as opposed to really building things of concrete satisfaction, of long-term satisfaction. So they could be in this process of again, experiencing some kind of disappointment, some kind of isolation, as maybe the people around them are settling down or getting married, or, in these successful partnerships, or kind of moving on with their life. And this person is still maybe living this kind of single person, bachelorette life. And it's just not feeling as fulfilling for them. And so part of that kind of dissatisfaction, that feeling of loneliness and isolation, which could be setting in, this is a teacher for them. It's forcing them to go inside, to really evaluate, recognize that there may have been opportunities for happiness in the past, specifically through this connection, that they chose not to act upon. They chose not to feed into. They chose to just kind of leave behind and move off in another direction. It's almost like this person who's been in this process of seeking, the truth that they are finding is in fact not outside themselves, but it lies within. So definitely somebody who's setting off, embarking on, at the precipice of this internal journey to come to some realizations, some truth about this connection. They feel very much in the same, kind of very similar to the energy you're feeling that they are in. They are definitely in that energy, but there is a change taking place. There's little clues that are coming up. There's these little kind of grains of change that are setting in, to where it's almost creating this dissonance within them, that it's starting to become uncomfortable. They're starting to become aware how the life that they've built, the choices that they've made, it is not leading to long-term satisfaction. So they feel on the precipice of change, a journey within, a journey of self-discovery, which, if they make the free will choice to continue to, follow these clues, follow that, that thread, that journey inward, and what they may not have been able to recognize or see about the connection between you in the past, it could be quite apparent to them. And, only time and both of your free will tell if this is something where, when that knowledge is gained, when that illumination is achieved, if it is in fact there is an opportunity to then come back together and build something, or if this is something that will need to be a lesson for this person, about not taking for granted blessings when they arrive. If it's something where you choose not to have a new beginning with them, or, they choose to only do the work up to a certain point, and they just kind of remain in this energy of needing to kind of thrill seek, or just constantly seeking to serve some immediate needs and avoiding intimacy and kind of stability. This could be something that for them further down the road and ultimately in their life, this can serve as a very great lesson for their soul for evolutions to come, as far as recognizing blessings, and kind of taking a longer approach to their life, kind of moving beyond this energy of what glitters, and really seeking out the gold beyond just kind of a veneer that maybe seem very appealing, or it's something others around them are doing. That this can be a great teacher for them, in terms of really, again, appreciation and seeing the value of people and of connections beyond just even kind of the superficial qualities, or recognizing kind of the long-term potential and necessity of partnership, of companionship, versus just this very kind of independent and unencumbered life that this person may have chosen up to this point. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out. All right, so we have G, R, O, P, X, I, F, Q, V, and M. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.